Hi guys, I'm Andrew from Cruisemaster, and on today's Cruisemaster class we're going to be talking about towing essentials for your tow vehicle. Towing essentials are those things that you need to get done on your tow vehicle before you go and pick up your caravan and camper trailer. None of these things are particularly big, but they are important to look at. So the first thing we're going to talk about is brake controllers. Any trailer over 750 kilos that isn't fitted with overrun brakes needs to have a brake controller fitted to the tow vehicle. Typically those are an electric brake controller, and they work by varying the voltage to the trailer brakes. This can either be done manually with a simple gain or via an inertial feedback from the deceleration of the vehicle and trailer. There are a couple of different variants of electric brake controller out on the market. The main two are units like the Redarc, where they're all hidden behind the trim and you just have a button with the gain knob on the outside of the trim. And then there are other systems like the Heyman Reese and Tecumseh models, which screw onto the outside of the trim. They're typically a bit easier to install, but in these modern vehicles it can be a bit clumsy around the transmission tunnel and around the steering column when you're placing those units. So it all depends on what vehicle you've got and how you like your vehicle to operate. Also, it's very important to make sure that they are in reach of the driver. Some people like them also in reach of the passenger, so if something does happen and the emergency brake button needs to be applied, both driver and passenger can reach it. So let's move on from there and let's have a look at towing mirrors. Depending on the size of your caravan or camper trailer that you're on your way to pick up, you may need to consider towing mirrors. Now, four-wheel drive and ute mirrors are pretty big. However, when you're getting into the full-size caravans, they can be pretty restrictive on the amount of vision you can have down the side of your caravan. Now, in many cases, mirrors are not just a nice to have, they are a legal requirement. There's lots of information that we've got on towing mirrors, another Cruisemaster class video that we've done, so check that out. Now, there are two main types of towing mirrors out there. One, which is a simple clip-on system that goes around the factory mirror. They're nice and easy to install. They are a bit cumbersome, but it also means you can put your vehicle back to stock. In some cases, they don't handle corrugations and rough roads too well, so that might be a consideration in that purchase. On all our vehicles at Cruisemaster, we do actually fit specific towing mirrors. These allow them to be nice and compact in towards the vehicle during normal operation. And then you can extend them out for when you've got a caravan and camper trailer on the back. You can see there they are telescopic, so you can set them for the size of vehicle that you are towing. Now let's head up the back of the BT50 and let's talk about tow bars. If you're going to pick up your caravan or camper trailer and you don't have a tow bar fitted to the back of your car, that's going to be a bit of a problem. So, first thing you need to look at with a tow bar is the rating on it to make sure that its tow rating and the ball load capacity is adequate for the trailer you're picking up. Now there's a few levels of tow bar out there on the market. Obviously there's the OE product that you can pick up with your new vehicle when you purchase it. There's good aftermarket options like Heyman Reese, who have a massive range of tow bars for pretty much any vehicle you can think of. Then up from there's a few more advanced options. So like this Heyman Reese X-Bar here, this has got some recovery points on it. So if you plan on doing some off-road touring as well, that can be of benefit. All the way up to products like Kamar that have integrated tow bars into a rear recovery system that can also hold spare wheels and jerry cans. So there's a few options out there. But like I said, the most important thing is to make sure that it is rated correctly. From there, you need to check that it is set up, ready to accept your caravan and camper trailer. So one of the things you need to look at is the loaded ball height. So that is a number you should be able to get from your dealer or manufacturer, which is a distance from the ground to the center of the tow ball or the towing pin in the case of a DA35 or DA45 couplings. So this makes sure that when you turn up, that you've got the right hitch, whether it's a drop hitch or an adjustable hitch or a weight distribution hitch, to make sure that the caravan sits level or just under level whilst attached to the back of your vehicle. You don't want to turn up there and then your tow ball height is too high, meaning you've got some issues when you pick it up. Now, once you've got all that sorted, we've got the electrical side of things. So you'll have a tow plug fitted to the back of your tow bar. Those can be in a round or flat variant. Typically these days they're flat and they're either 7 or 12 pin outputs on that. So before you go and pick the caravan up, also good to confirm which variant your caravan has coming on it. If it is a 12 pin plug that has a few accessory points on it, it's also worthwhile checking with your dealer or manufacturer to see how that plug is wired. Sometimes they put an ignition switch through these to turn on systems inside the caravan, so it's important that you get it wired correctly before you go and pick up your caravan. From there, you may also need some auxiliary power. So particularly in big caravans or camper trailers that have got a pretty substantial power system on board, they rely on both solar and energy input from the tow vehicle. So that'll come through an Anderson plug on the back here. So you'll typically have an auxiliary accessories Anderson plug. Those can either be wired straight from the battery or through an ignition switch circuit. We typically advise them to be an ignition switch circuit. Otherwise, you can run into troubles where your caravan can drain your starting battery in your car whilst you're camped up overnight, and that'll ruin your next day. Additionally to that, you often see vehicles that have got multiple Anderson plugs on them. Those can be on vehicles that have electronic stability control fitted. So that has to have a dedicated power supply out of the car and into the trailer. Last thing that you need to confirm before you pick up your caravan or camper trailer is whether it comes with shackles. So through these points here, you need to connect your safety chains, and some will come with shackles and some may not. So you just want to confirm that before you pick it up to make sure everything goes off without a hitch. So those are the physical towing essentials that you need fitted to your tow vehicle before you pick up your caravan or camper trailer. The last thing I thought I'd mention though is it's probably a good idea to have your towing vehicle weighed. Particularly if your tow vehicle has already got a few accessories fitted, it's important to get it weighed before you go and pick up your caravan. It's really important to check out things like your rear axle capacity and your gross vehicle mass, and make sure that it's not going to be adversely affected by the ball weight imposed on it by the caravan or camper trailer. If it does put it over any of these limits, it can make the vehicle unsafe to tow and it can be illegal. So it's something you do want to make yourself very much aware of. If you do want some more information on that, we've got a heap of videos on GVM and GCM and all the weights and capacities that are included in that, in plenty of other videos that we'll link to. If you want to talk to someone about any of the accessories that you've seen in this video, or you want some more advice on checking out your GVM and GCM, make sure you give our friendly team at the Towing Performance Centre a call and they'll be happy to help you out.